Hi everyone, Bren here. Welcome to this week's video where I'm going to do a garden harvest of citrus fruit, and for each of these three fruit that I pick I'm going to share with you a simple recipe that I often use in the kitchen with them. So please just sit back, relax for a few minutes and let's get into it now. Let's fill this up. I'll start off with some of these lemons. Don't be asking me what variety of lemon this is because I do not have a clue. So usually I just twist it and it comes off fairly easily, but this one isn't. Oh, there we go. I'm not really sure how many I should pick. Oh, probably maybe 3 or 4. We're gonna have fish for dinner, so I'll be able to slice this up to go with the fish, and then I might even make like a quick lemonade or something as well. Just halved one to have a look at the inside, and oh my goodness, when I was cutting it open the juice was just flowing out of it. With about 40 different lemon varieties around the world, it's a little bit tricky for me to figure out which one this is. Next up, here's a simple hot beverage recipe that I make every winter to use up the abundance of lemons. Let's make this soothing hot beverage. Grab a lemon and some ginger. Slice the lemon and a couple of pieces of that ginger, then start layering it in a jar with honey. Leave overnight for the flavours to infuse. Here's one I made earlier. Place them in a cup, add some hot water and enjoy. Okay, let's move on to our next citrus tree. This one here is our lime tree, and it doesn't have a whole load of fruit on it at the moment, although there are a few, but mostly what you see here are some fresh blooms with some, or the start of some limes. You can see there, oh, the petals are falling off. See that swelling there at the base? That's the start of a lime fruit. Here's one ready to pick. Oh, that came off pretty easily. There are also a few limes that have fallen to the ground. Here's something that I shared on social media a couple of years ago about limes. So in the supermarkets, you buy limes when they're green like this one here. But did you know a ripe lime is actually yellow? And I believe the reason why they are harvested in this unripe state is because it's apparently better for transportation. Now, if you're wondering, is there any difference between the ripe lime and the unripe lime? I would say with ripe limes, they seem to be a lot juicier and sweeter when they are yellow. We've all heard of lemonade, but here's a limonade recipe. I'm going to grab about 20 of these homegrown limes. Remove the zest from 10 of them. Next, I'll cut 20 in half. It's now time to juice. We're now ready to start making the cordial. In a saucepan, add 2 cups of water, 1 cup of sugar and the lime zest. Bring this to a boil. So once it's come to a boil, you're going to now add in your lime juice. Give it a mix and then just wait for it all to cool down and the flavours to infuse. I'm now going to add it into this drink dispenser along with all the lime pieces, plus some ice. Top it up with water. Stir, sláinte. And finally, when it comes to picking fruit in today's harvest, I'm going to grab a bunch of these delicious oranges. This tree is just jam-packed with them. Oh, I'm in love. This never gets old, ever. I even love just sitting underneath here and looking up at the sky, especially when we have a beautiful blue sky. The colour contrast is just gorgeous. My oranges are so tiny this year. Usually they're about double the size of this, but it has been quite a dry winter and I haven't been watering underneath the tree. The other thing I have done, if you have a look down here, is that I don't have any decent mulch under it anymore. I've given up on the grass, you know, creeping in, trying to clear it out. I ran out of time and now the grass is just completely surrounding it. Maybe that's an issue as well. I don't know. Maybe I haven't been giving it enough nutrients, like putting down some bark. That's what I usually do, bark and compost and stuff like that. But yeah, I've just kind of left it be. So I reckon this year, maybe that is why they are a bit smaller than usual. I'm gonna just pick a bunch of them. I have to be careful not to pull it off. I don't want to break any branches. Let me see. Oh, there we go. If you're wondering why there's so many of them on the ground, I would say it's probably the cockatoos, and I can usually tell because there's big chunks that gone out of them, but not the entire thing eaten. Yep, that's definitely a cockatoo. Having said that though, they can also just drop off when they're ripe. This happens sometimes, and actually a really quick way of harvesting them when they are, you know, just pretty much finished on the tree is to give the branches a little jiggle, and then they all just fall down. It just makes it a bit easier picking up the ones that are higher up on the canopy. So rather than harvesting some directly off the tree, I'm going to go around and check the ones here on the ground, and if they are looking all right, I'm going to pop them in the basket. This might sound a bit weird, but I remember when we came to view the house, we came back a second time. So the first time there was no fruit on this tree, and the second time we came back it was covered in fruit. And I actually this sounds probably crazy, but I knew this was the right property for us. I just picked this one up off the ground and it's not looking good. I mean, in my experience, I could be completely wrong, but this to me looks like it's a Queensland fruit fly that's damaged this particular orange. I can tell by what seems to be a little piercing there in the center. Oh, I don't want to go too close because I've actually done that before and it's squished and it's gross, what I'm going to tell you, so I'm just warning you. With the fruit fly, what they do is they inject it, and then there's all these maggots inside. So if I was to cut this open, I'd probably find a heap of maggots in there. Another sign that it's the fruit fly is that the skin around the piercing goes darker in colour and a little bit mushier to feel. I'm so scared I'm gonna burst it open. Yeah, fruit fly are awful here. Not too bad during the winter, but when it comes to summertime, that's why I net up all my tomatoes. They look ridiculous, but I have to do it, otherwise I'd lose all the crop. I shouldn't be leaving fallen fruit like this on the ground, because what will happen is all those maggots will turn into more fruit flies and they will just multiply and damage more of the oranges. So what I need to do with these ones in particular is I'll actually put these in a bag and put them straight into the bin, because I'll be too nervous putting this in the compost bin. I'll be worried those maggots wouldn't die off, you know, and then turn into flies. Next up, here's one zero waste way of using up your entire orange in baking. Try this. Bring an orange to the boil, then simmer for 1 hour. Puree the entire fruit and add it to a cake mix, creating an intense orange flavour. Add the leftover liquid to a spray bottle for a fragrant citrus mister. I just came over to the raised beds to pop down the basket and check out what I've discovered scratching in here, the 2 chucks. Oh, I only yesterday put some seedlings in this area, some more poppies. I'll have to go rooting for them. Oh, we'll leave them there for a second. Oh my goodness. Oh, there's one there, but I did have more than that. Where are they all gone to? Oh, I don't know, maybe they're just gone. I'll put that down as a loss. They've been over here too, which I'm trying to stay calm about, but it's my own fault. Can't blame the chickens. They don't really know where's off bounds and where's okay to scratch around. Here's where I put some of my ranunculus. These ones are the orange coloured ones, and then I think I had a row here of the white. I have more ranunculus to go out in the beds, but I just got around to doing this yesterday. Oh my goodness, Snowflake, do not go near those citrus. Do you hear me? Don't go near them. And that goes for you too, Missy. Do you hear me? since I'm over here in this area, I might as well show you what I've been up to, which hasn't been an awful lot, so don't get too excited. But I just moved one of the raised beds over here just to get a visual idea of what it would look like if I put in another row across this section. It would mean I need to get rid of all this I'm saying rubbish, weedy area, I guess you'd say. There's some privets there that have grown over autumn, well, more like summer autumn. I need to clear all of that, and I'm thinking, see how I've got the 2 beds here? I'm thinking of making another row of 2 beds and then another 2 here. And then I'm thinking, oh, is that the best use of this space? Because am I limiting it to those beds now? Why don't I just use the entire section and make one like really thick in-ground bed, which might be a bit more productive? I'm not really sure what to do yet. Oh, the decisions I need to make. Well, that's it for this week, everyone. Thanks so much for watching. I quickly want to pop up a picture here of what I cooked on the fire pit last weekend. I mentioned that I was going to show you, so this is what I did. Very simple. The picture quality isn't great, but that's grand. Now, also I wanted to say, next week I'm hoping, if I have enough time, I want to go through some of the seeds that I'm sowing for spring, summer 2023, 2024. Wow, time flies by. Anyway, until then, I hope you have a great week ahead and happy gardening.